right, so everybody, I'm with Bill with Automotive Engineering. How you doing, Bill?
Hi, how are you, Jeff?
I'm doing great. What do you think of the Prius so far? We just started our drive. We've gone about a mile or so, but they're 25 and under. What's an initial low speed impression?
Well, quiet for sure. There's not a lot of noise other than the tire noise, that you hear, and a little bit, I guess, of just general road going under the car. But other than that, the main impression is quietness, and the car feels pretty well planted. It's of course we're not going very fast yet either, but
true. And I know this one has a lower center of gravity than the last generation. It's also got different layout as far as the apex of the vehicle, the highest interior point. That's been pushed back a little bit closer to the B pillar. I have good headroom. I'm only 5'8", but the headroom seems really good right now.
There's definitely a different feel to the cabin now. You feel like everything's a little sleeker and a little faster, I think, as you move from the bottom of the windshield back. It definitely, the car has a different feel in terms of the cabin and the height, and maybe that's not going to be everybody's favorite thing if you're exceptionally tall, maybe, but
right,
it definitely has a different feel and a sleeker sort of a feel to the interior.
Yeah, the other interesting thing is this is the limited all-wheel drive, so it has a separate motor that controls starting, slippery conditions when cornering.
I think it sounds a little throatier than I remember. I want to drive the current Prius and see if it sounds quite that throaty, when you get some throttle on it, because I don't remember the current one sounding that throaty.
I know, yeah, it's got a little muscle to it.
Yeah, almost, yeah.
Boy, this thing really glides. It took the corner really well when you were doing that.
No, there's some grip there for sure.
Yeah. Take a look at the information display there, what it can show you. Yeah, I'm just really impressed with how quiet it is once you get to your cruising speed. I remember in the Prius, it doesn't sound quite as loud as like the smaller engine Priuses of old.
Not at all.
No.
The engine's not working nearly as hard here, it seems.
Woo. You're like in Top Gun mode. I like this.
Yeah, this is, well, I wanted to see if that, if you can really feel any input from that rear motor on the all-wheel drive system, because it does seem like there's a little bit of a torque vectoring effect there. Maybe it's just my imagination, but when you turn the car into the curve and add some throttle, it does seem like it's helping out to, drive the rear axle a little bit.
Yeah, this is a nice drive. Let's see how it brakes.
No, that's no braking at all. My foot's not on, and now I've got to brake just to finish off.
Nice Tundra.
That's an oldie.
Yeah, I wonder if these guys are going to race. My Silverado's better. My Tundra's better.
I don't think this guy cares too much. It looks like that's strictly a work truck.
And then up to, oh, this is modern. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's sort of nice.
Nice little evolution there. Yeah. That's a safety connect visor here. How's it feel starting up? Do you feel that torque?
Yeah, very smooth and progressive, coming off of the dead stop there. There's a nice feeling of torque, and you don't feel like anything's working too hard, to get you moving.
Yeah, and that'll help people up in the Northeast and stuff like that when they're driving in snow, slippery conditions, starting off, or hilly or cornering. See, I'm not used to seeing some of these signs. Horse crossing. We had a falling rock sign. Del Mar in the house. What do you think about the steering wheel size? Does that seem appropriate?
Yeah, it does seem good to me. It looks small. The funny thing is, like, if you watch from the passenger seat, the wheel looks small the way it's kind of tucked into the steering column here in the dashboard, but it feels just right to me once you actually have your hands on it. And the steering effort is also really nicely considered and well weighted. It feels like it's appropriate for the size of the vehicle.
Trying to hold the camera as steady as possible, but it's not easy. Sorry, everybody. You know, for visibility, I do like that huge window that they have just behind the A-pillar. And I noticed the blind spot monitor. It's similar to what we normally see in Toyota models. It's that amber orange color right in the left corner. But look at the visibility around that A-pillar.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's just panoramic. You know, the windshield shape is really nice and airy, and you do get that extra view from those A-pillar windows. It's really a pleasure to look out.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so it's got a lot of low-end power when you need to just kind of start off. Now, we're not going to be using it in this type of situation, but it's nice to know that it's got it.
I think for rain-slicked roads or real foul weather, you know, if you have some snow on the road and you have some slippery conditions to deal with, you know, the all-wheel drive assist kind of is definitely a nice feature to have.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I also noticed, my impression, the vehicle is incredibly smooth. And you're right, it is quiet. You hear the engine accelerating, you know, like that. But it's so smooth. It really just kind of glides across the road. It's also kind of interesting to see a Prius. It's always known as a space age type vehicle, kind of ahead of its time as far as the interior look. But it's nice to have it with the times, maybe ahead of the times, and just what we see as far as creature comforts and technology here with the new 12.3-inch Toyota audio multimedia. I would assume that it has pretty proactive voice commands. Let me try. Hey Toyota.
How can I help you?
What's the weather?
It is mostly sunny in North City, San Diego, California, and it feels like 56 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's nice to know. This is supposed to have 5 times the processing speed of the previous generation multimedia system. You can pair 2 smartphones at the same time. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Actually, you're hooked up to this right now, wireless. So it's just convenient.
Yeah, very nice. You know, I think when everybody started to move towards wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, that was a real upgrade to not have to be able to sort of physically connect your phone.
I like the fact that we got into the car and I didn't have to think, where's my USB cord?
Right.
So, I mean, it's just something I think a lot of people will get used to, and they'll be disappointed if their vehicle doesn't have it these days.
And wireless charging for that matter too.
Yeah.
You know, just drop in your phone and you know, you've got a nice slot there.
Got my phone right here. It's a horizontal slot. Just kind of pop it in, boom.
It's nice and secure. It's not banging around when you go around the corners, and it's a nice feature to have there.
Yeah, and some other things that people will be wondering, what does the Limited have as far as, this is luxury, right? It's supposed to have some things to it. It has cooled seats. It's got heated seats. The XLE and Limited are going to have this wireless charging. It also has ambient lighting, and you'll see that all along this strip here. I think that's kind of a cool touch. This display here is going to take a little getting used to, just because I'm not familiar.
Turn left onto El Camino Real.
El Camino. Got the multi-information display, but it's set up and it's set back, so it's not that long strip like we've seen in a lot of Priuses. Even the sound of the turn signal it's unique. It's like
It's sort of a tech kind of a sound without being intrusive.
I like that it doesn't sound clunky like a lot of turn signals sound. Now this is interesting. It's got a smaller steering wheel. The buttons are all laid out like you'd see on most Toyota models. Got that all-wheel drive kick in. Woo!
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Now this also has what's called proactive driving assist, and that can help you out. Like if there was a bicyclist that it noticed driving in my lane, it will actually alert me that there's somebody there. It tries to use the cameras to keep me in my lane, but it can move me over just a little bit so I can clear that obstacle, which is a bicyclist. We certainly don't want to get close to them.
You have arrived.
We're driving in Del Mar, California right now, and we just want to take a look at some of these buttons, controls, dials for the interior. Have heated and ventilated seats. Real easy to use. I have it set for the recirculated air with air conditioning. Physical buttons here. They're easy to use. Easy response. This road is bumpy, isn't it?
Spots.
This one has also the advanced park function. So what I'm told that one can do, similar to what the Mirai technology does, is it can parallel park you, it can perpendicular park you, and it can help assist you getting out of a spot. And this is what the backup camera looks like, the 360 monitor. Boy, that is crystal clear. I don't ever think I've seen resolution in a Toyota product this good. That's crazy.
Continue for 1 mile.
Let's see how it does going around some turns. This has front independent McPherson struts and multi-link rear suspension. So it's flat, it's stable, and it's precise going around these turns. It kind of hugs and leans into the corners. Now this is a bump up in speed and power. I guess we could say power because it goes from the 1.8 liter with electric assist to the 2.0 liter. So now we're getting, in the all-wheel drive, 196 horsepower. Front wheel drive is 194. That's a huge bump up from what we're used to with Prius. I don't even have to put it in power mode, and oh yeah, this is a nice drive. It's quiet. I'm going
your destination will be on the
56
right.
And it's very quiet. It almost sounds in a way like an electric because you can hear a little bit of wind,
right,
like you're cutting through it, but you certainly don't hear the gasoline at your cruising speed. It's almost not quite like a golf cart, but it's close. I feel like I have a lot of room in here too. It's very spacious, but cozy, if that makes sense, because I can all the way around here. It looks like you have good access to most of the buttons that you need.
It's airy. You know, there's an airiness about it, and you don't feel closed in or anything like that, but it does feel a little cozy. Maybe again, I think because of the lower roof line, the general overall lowerness.
Your destination is on the right.
Car.
Head west on Lomas Santa Fe Drive toward Via Mil Cumbres.
You know, the other thing that's nice as far as visibility is it doesn't have the 2 panes of glass in the back window. It's just 1 pane of glass, so I do like that. It's kind of a thin back window, but it seems fine. And if I really worry about that, I can flip it in here, and I'm in digital rear view mirror, so now I get an unobstructed view of everything. You can see right here, you can see the cars. It's crystal clear. The clarity is really good here. Interesting observation here is it shows the speed limit part of the road sign assist. However, if I go more than that, it actually lights up red. So it's just a visual indicator that I might be going a little bit too fast. And my hunch is you can probably set that threshold where it goes off if you're going 1 mile and over, like 3 mile, maybe 5 or 7, something like that. I'll bet it has controls for that too, so you can set it based on your preferences.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto the I-5 ramp.
All right, so we're getting on to I-5. I've also got it in sport mode. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this. Woo! Nice. Oh, didn't do that. Yeah, it's got nice acceleration.
No problem with the merge.
Yeah, no problem at all. I don't think people would have a problem getting onto a highway, like going up a hill, or probably
In half a
even
mile, take exit 36 for
if you have to pull out into like tight traffic windows. I don't think that would be an issue. Listen to how quiet it is, Bill.
Tire noise, and that's about it.
Take exit 36.
So what kind of things are you looking for when you're observing?
Well, you know, we pay attention to a lot of the dynamic aspects. You know, you mentioned that the brakes felt sort of touchy. Did that take a little bit of acclimation to really get smooth braking? Do you feel like that was a little bit artificial?
Well, that's a really good question, because when I first started off, we had a lineup of Priuses, and I was going, and I noticed I just went out and I hit it, and it's like it was grabbing. I thought, uh-oh, this is like Honda brakes, you know, where it's really really tight. But right now I've already acclimated to it, and it feels not firm at all, but not soft. So it's kind of right in the middle. It'll be interesting to see what you think as well.
And the throttle response in the drive modes, were you able to really tell much difference between the drive modes?
In 600 feet,
the sport mode, it had a little bit more sound to it, and it did have a little bit of a kick to it when I was going, which I was happy to see. This is in sport mode.
Continue for 3 miles.
See, the current Prius would have a hard time with that there. I think that would be a long, hard haul for the current one.
Yeah, the 22 would have struggled a little bit, and you would have heard it like, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
Really wailing there, dude.
This one here just kind of powered up.
Yeah. It was loudish, but not, I mean, it was getting it done, you know. And
look at our backup camera here. Boy, that is so clear. See if we can pop a wheelie here, Bill. Holla!
Then turn right onto Las Colinas.
so that was
In
full
1,000
power.
feet, turn right onto Via de la Valle.
Yeah, we turned just a little bit too early.
That's kind of a little rush there.
It's nice.
Yeah. Boy, it corners well. So, Bill, are you going to walk away from this impressed? What are your feelings?
Yeah, this definitely feels like a lot more of a sportier drive than the current Prius, for sure. And the car feels very solid and secure.
Yeah, I felt too. I noticed that Toyota really marketed as a lower center of gravity with that platform, the TNGAC. It feels nice. It feels solid. It feels very, very... I'm very comfortable in this car, and I enjoy the power, and I like the technological upgrades that you see in the car too. So I'm impressed as well. Thanks so much for being here, Bill. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.